maybe animal fats aren't as serious a threat as we've been led to believe. Mind you, diet is important, but lifestyle has something to do with heart disease too, and maybe that's where you and I should focus this Christmas. I remember a study I read about back in the mid-70s, about 500 sets of twins from Ireland. In each case, one of the twins had stayed in Ireland, and the other had moved to the United States. The study compared diets, lifestyle, and health. In general, the twins that stayed in Ireland ate a lot more saturated animal fats than the ones that lived in the United States. But they also had a lower rate of heart disease. It turned out the twins in the United States had a faster-paced, more stressful lifestyle and got less physical exercise than their Irish brothers. I guess you could say they sat around on their fatty acids and worried more. Medical science has recently discovered that the stress caused by the rat race of the average urban lifestyle causes lipids to be released in the blood that interact with various other chemicals and cause wear and tear on the heart. When you're constantly on the go, this extra wear and tear is always happening. This is where religion comes in. Remember in the Old Testament when God tells the folks to take one day of rest every week? Well, God might have known something they didn't. There was an interesting study in Israel recently. The researchers studied two groups, a flock of Orthodox Jews who rigidly followed the law according to Moses, and a bunch of secular Jews who didn't take religion quite so seriously. The study showed that the two groups ate pretty well the same kinds of foods and had similar working conditions. In fact, the only difference was that the Orthodox Jews took a day of rest every week where they did no work whatsoever, and they had less heart disease than the secular ones. The researchers concluded that the day of rest was allowing the religious people's bodies to clean up those lipids in the bloodstream I mentioned a minute ago, and that kept their hearts in better shape. Another healthy thing about practicing a religion is that the sense of inner peace it seems to bring keeps the body from releasing quite so many chemicals like lipids and adrenaline into the bloodstream. I suppose that's why priests and ministers have a longer average lifespan than the rest of us too. Well, I hope you get a day or so of rest this Christmas season, and that your life is filled with peace. It'll do your heart good. Maybe it'll even let you get away with eating an extra chunk of mince pie with whipped cream. I'm Noel McNaughton.